What's good, guys? It's your boy TD, and I'm back again with another live, guys. And today's live is going to be on the waiver wire for week 9. I got a couple guys that I think you should be adding, and I thought it would be unique to go and do a live outside. So I'm on my front porch of my apartment, and I just like to keep it real with y'all. Pull out. This is fantasy football. Fantasy football is not played in some type of dorm where you got to put on a suit. It's played where you playing against your league mates, your friends, your peers, and you just go and do your research. It don't matter what you got on or what you're doing, and that's how I like to do my content. So, I know I don't have the professional background, but I do got my light for outside, right? So make sure you hit the like button, guys. Let's see here. Okay, what's going on, King of Nike? What's good, brother? How do you hear me good? Do I sound crazy? Do I need to take my earphones off? Let me know. I can take the earphones off. Let me know, brother. What's going on, Nifty? What's up, bruh? Clear, brother. Okay, thank you, King and Nike. Okay, so let's get going, guys. And help if any news is going on. I don't have my desktop in front of me, so I'm not gonna really talk about a lot of the news. But if anything pop up, we can talk about it in the chat. You know, that's how I think this makes good content for fantasy good sports. So, all right, the first guy I want to talk about is the guy on the thumbnail is Jameis Winston. Who would have thought that Jameis Winston was going to come out there and beat the Baltimore Ravens like the way he did? And well, listen, we know that Jameis will push the ball downfield. 3 touchdowns is not very surprising. We know Baltimore has been had, but I would have thought that they would have been a little bit more dominant. They would have had a couple more turnovers. Yes, Kyle Hamilton did drop an interception, but let's give credit to Jameis Winston. We know that, guys. I'm gonna start calling Jameis Winston Pastor Winston. This dude preaches. He be preaching. Y'all know that. He always preaching, talking about eating dubs and whatever. He's a preaching guy. But he rallied this team and they got that win against Baltimore. We got to give credit to Jameis for that. So guys, we know in fantasy football, Jameis is a big time quarterback. So he's probably going to start the rest of the year. I'm playing him. If you have some of these guys that's been volatile, guys that you've been upset with, I don't care even if you got a Sam Darnold who's been killing it. It's good to back Jameis up. Now, listen, I usually don't like you to carry multiple quarterbacks, but when a guy is booming this time of the year, you can pick him up. Now, if you got Lamar Jackson, maybe you pick him up and try to flip Jameson, but you just don't want teams that are 500 to pick up Jameis Winston and knowing that Jameis is going to be pushing the ball downfield, and so that's going to be a lot of fantasy points. So I guess I would say. Um, Pick up Jameis if you got room on your team because this guy's going to be a good quarterback. You don't want guys to come catch your team with making this type of acquisition. So if you hit Anthony Richardson and you know he's getting benched and you pick up Jameis Winston, it could change your whole season. So Jameis Winston, guys, is a good quarterback for the rest of the season. How much weight fab would I spend on them? I mean, whatever it takes if I need a quarterback. If you're just trying to stack them because you don't want other people to get them, then that's a different story. I would say 25 to 30% of your beginning fab, or whatever you have left, or whatever you have left. Yes, I see. I know that, conscious. You're right. Facts. Facts. Joe Flacco is in for Richardson, so that helps Josh Downs. And I'm pretty sure Josh Downs is not on your waivers. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. If Josh Downs is on your waivers, go pick him up. Listen, I know he didn't play well with Anthony Richardson. I go down with that ship. That's fine. That's on me. That's my bus. But I know what Josh Downs is, and he's balling. When he's getting the targets, he's gonna ball out. He balling with Anthony Richardson, who's sporadic. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about another player, guys. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Make sure you sign up as a member. You get the skip priority. You get to get your questions answered before everybody else. No matter what, if you are a member, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna get to your question. If you super chat, I'm gonna get to it 100% of the time. But if you are a member, I'm gonna get to your questions. This channel, I go down through the list. I don't skip. Maybe when I get a little bit more value, it might be a little bit different. Okay, what's going on, Stacy? Right, right. Well, Stacy, if you see anybody in here with the political stuff and they don't look like they want to listen to fantasy football, then get them out of here. I made you a moderator, so you can get them. Anybody that's in here, just let me know first. Don't, some people could be coming here and just saying that, and they might be converted to a subscriber. But if they in here and they spam in the chat, y'all have the right to get them out of here. I'm gonna be looking at the chat. All right, let's move on, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna get to everybody's message as we go. Uh, Dang, this thing got deep fast, right? Pause. I guess the lives when you just go straight from your cell phone and ain't no background. I mean, everything gets it's a lot of value in there. All right. So the second guy I want to talk about, guys, is Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, he's probably on your waivers. To me, I'm playing him now. Is he gonna be the starter the whole season? Probably. If he don't, I still would use him. I still would pick him up and use him where I can. I don't think they're going to bring AR back. If they bring AR back, then that's when it gets bad for AR and he loses confidence. If they can say, listen, we sent you down because we want to start you out from ground zero. We think bring you in off the injury, you just wasn't ready. That's different. But if they do what they did in Carolina and bring him back and bench Joe, I think that's raggedy. So if you're gonna sit him, sit him. Let Joe Flacco start and let Joe Flacco actually be the starter even beginning of next year if Joe Flacco does good. And give Anthony Richardson the time to learn. I'm not saying give him Jordan Love time, but at least give him a year and a half. I'm okay with Anthony Richardson sitting for a year. If you really believe in the guy, if you don't, then move on. We know how they do in the NFL. It stands for not for long. So they will move on. They don't care. If they go deep in the playoffs, they might move on from Anthony Richardson. Maybe they trade him. Nobody wants him. The coach is the only one who's going to draft him that high, I believe. But anyway, Joe Flacco, guys, I love him. I think now you can start everybody on the coast. You can start Michael Pittman. You can start Josh Downs. You can start Jonathan Taylor. You can start all the regular coaches who are ballers. Even AD Mitchell might have a some get a target share. So I love Joe Flacco. I like Jameis over Joe, but I like both of them. Joe is a walking 300-yard guy. You see what he did for the Cleveland Browns. Thank you, Conscious. I was about to say that. I was about to say that. Thank you for deleting that message. Okay, let's move on to the running back. Now, listen, guys, it's not a lot of running backs. I'm looking in the chat. I looked over. I mean, it's a couple guys that I could have mentioned. Some guys are redundant. We already know that should be picked up. But the only running back that I saw this week that I wanted to actually pick up outside of my stash, and I'm gonna wait later during the week to do my stash video. But right now is Isaac Garendo. And listen, they on a buy. CMC is coming back. Bucky is back. Yeah, you can play Bucky. Those are guys that should Bucky should listen. It should be Bucky, Rashad White. None of those guys should be on your waivers. But if he is, you pick Bucky up, and you can start Bucky at any time. To me, that's an ugly backfield. I don't want to guess who's going to score every week, but he's definitely not a waiver wire guy. He should be on somebody's roster. But Isaac Garendo, guys, we don't know how healthy CMC is going to be when he comes back, even if he comes back week 10. So get Isaac Garendo as a backup. I think Jordan Mason is hurt, so I think they will go and at least use Isaac Garendo for one game to see what he's got. And if he's balls out, maybe Jordan Mason don't have the same role. Maybe he's only getting 10% of the snaps, and Isaac Garendo goes into the Jordan Mason role, which they not gonna give CMC the full workload. So maybe they split carries and make it be like a 60-40 thing where CMC's catching a lot of passes and getting the goal line work, and Isaac Garendo is getting all the other carries like Elijah Mitchell used to do back in the day. So I like Isaac Garendo to pick him up as a running back. Yes, pick Isaac Garendo up. He could have been on the stash video, but he's played good enough to be on the waiver wire video. Thank you, Harambe. Appreciate you. I see you, bro. Chris says, "Are you dropping Mason?" I'm reason why I'm reading that comment out. It just came up. It makes sense. I'm already on it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, Chris. Become a member also. The link is in the description box. Uh, Probably not. I don't like dropping running backs, but if you have to make a good pickup, like if you picking up Jameis Winston, somebody, and you need to start Jameis, yes. If you are picking up It's a few guys down here later that I'm gonna talk about. I'm not gonna mention their name, but if you're picking up a couple of these guys, maybe. But I would try to hold on to Mason. You never know what's gonna happen. Garendo could go down, and then Mason back in the row. You never know. So I would try to hold on to Mason. So the next wide, I'm gonna talk about a wide receiver. The wide receiver is Cedric Tillman. And guys, I made a video on Cedric Tillman about what 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think it was the video way before Amari Cooper was traded, and I said, "Listen, pick up Cedric Tillman up. They giving him some targets. You can't trust Jerry Judy. You can't trust Elijah Moore. Cedric Tillman is the number 2. Now he's the number 1." And Jameis is his quarterback. Cedric Tillman could be a true league winner. This is the league winner that everybody likes to talk about. You pick them up in the middle of the year and they ball out and be a top 12 wide receiver on a weekly basis. So I love Cedric Tillman. He looks good. He can play. A lot of people talked about Cedric Tillman being a rookie when he got drafted as a rookie, being part of this offense, and they didn't use him that way. He wasn't ready, but now they're going to force him in there, and I think he's going to be fine. Everything ain't going to be pretty, but I think it's going to be fine. So I love Cedric Tillman. Pick him up, guys. They also playing against the Chargers. It's not an easy matchup, but I'm okay with the matchup. It's Jameis. Jameis gonna push the ball down the field no matter who they playing. Right. Okay. There's another wide receiver that I like is Calvin Austin for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Calvin is a boom play. Calvin can boom, guys. Calvin gonna make big plays. Now, listen, is he a? Can you trust him? No, you can't trust him. But on these bye weeks coming up, and you need a wide receiver, you can put Calvin Austin in, and he might give you 20 point, 30 point, 30 point, 40 point, 30 point, 40 points. He might be that guy. And if you don't, it's okay. It's a bye week. You're not putting him in and think he's going to be a top 5 wide receiver. You putting him in because you need somebody to start that's going to get some targets. And this guy's going to do this, especially with Russell, last name Wilson. Yeah, I got to slow it down. I used to say Russell, last name. No, it's Russell, last name Wilson. Especially with Russell, last name Wilson being there. He's going to be that deep ball that Russell has is elite. So I'm okay. I love Calvin Austin picking him up off the waivers. All right, let's move on to tight end. Listen, I hate to mention this guy. I'm pretty sure this guy's already picked up, but y'all picked up Cade Otton, right? Let me know in the chat. Did y'all pick up Cade Otton? Cade Otton needs to be picked up. He went off. He don't have because Godwin's not coming back for the rest of the season. So Cade Otton's probably gonna be a top 12 tight end. And I'm not doing that for the floor. He could be top 5. So I like Cade Otton. Hopefully y'all got Cade Otton. I'm pretty sure. But the guy that I think is on your waivers is going to be Taysom Hill. You might say, well, Taysom Hill, that's disgusting, TD, and it is. But guess what? Sometimes when you don't have a lot of money and you haven't ate, you have to eat disgusting food. You're not gonna always be able to go to any restaurant that you want and eat delicacy. Sometimes you got to eat scraps. You got to eat spam. You got to eat bologna. So I believe Taysom Hill can end up being baloney, but he's going to fill your belly. He's going to give you a nice floor of 8 to 12 points because they don't have Rashid Shaheed. Chris Olave can't take the workload as a number 1 wide receiver. So what they're going to do, they're going to use gadget plays. It's going to be Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill and Jawan Johnson. And Jawan Johnson is another guy that I think is a deep pickup, a deep sleeper that should be picked up. He's a good target. He's 6'6". So Derek Carr is coming back. So hopefully they target him. They missing Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed guys probably gonna cost them a playoff run. They was gonna make the playoffs with Rashid Shaheed. They could win that division or come in be number 2 in that division. Now they probably won't make it. So I love Taysom Hill for goal line carries, all types of gadget plays. Right, Kenny. Tank Dell is got a good opportunity, but you got to give him a chance to keep healing off that injury. He broke his ankle last year, and he's not the same, but give him a little bit of time. Usually, guys about week 11, week 12 off broken ankles get better. And reason why I know that is because who broke their ankle last year? Tony Pollard. And he said he wasn't 100% into like week 11. So let's just try to put let's try to put what you call it? Who was I talking about with the ankle? Um, Tank Dell. Let's try to put Tank Dell on that level where you just got to let him get better and heal off the ankle. But I still love him. He's the number 2 there for no matter what. When Nico comes back, he's the number two. And CJ Stroud looks to be more comfortable when it's just Tank Dell and Nico. He didn't look good with Stephon Diggs this year. I might have been too many mouths to feed, too many kids to feed. Okay, and last but not least, let's go to a DST. The DST of the week, guys, that you should be picking up is going to be the New Orleans Saints. They play in Carolina. Anytime you see Carolina Panthers and you see Bryce Young, click that button. Click that button when you see Carolina and they playing against Bryce Young. Now, if any doubt in there, you got to be careful. They could go out and have a good week. But long as Bryce Young starting, I'm 90% sure that defense is going to be elite that week. It's going to be a top five DST. So I love the New Orleans Saints. Also, Pete Warner and a couple of their defensive players are coming back, minus Marshawn Lattimore. So that's why they played good last week. They had Pete Warner there, and he hadn't been there in like 3 weeks. So don't sleep on this Saints defense. They've been a good defense, a top 12 defense the last 5 years. So don't sleep on them. All right, let's get through some of these questions in the chat. Y'all got to be patient with me because I got to use it through my cell phone. So if I skip, just try to put it in the chat and let me know. But if you get skipped and you're not a member, I'm probably not gonna go back. But if you are a member, I'll try to make sure I get to your question. So that's why you're gonna become a member, guys. It don't cost nothing. It's 99 cents for the Ricky tier. It's 99 cents for the Ricky tier. If you go to the other tiers, guys, I give free stuff out. I got free leagues and all types of things. And I will be doing a giveaway. I don't know what I'm gonna give away, but I will be doing a giveaway for members only. Anytime I do a giveaway, you gotta be a member. If you're not a member, you're not gonna get the stuff that I'm gonna be giving away. All right. So King of Nike said, "What's good, TD?" Yes, sir. Nifty says, "Yes, sir." Kenny 49 says, "Hey, bro, I finally caught you live." Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, Conscious Machine says, "Diggs out for the year. Deontay is a Raven." Right. I still like Zay Flowers' value because he's such a special player. He can separate, but Deontay just going to have certain games where Zay might not have, but about 5 catches for 50, and that's fine. Deontay caught a long one for 70, and Isaiah Likely caught one, and then Derrick Henry hit two. That's how the game gonna go. So it's gonna be a lot of guys to feed. So the main two guys on this offense is Derrick Henry and Lamar, and then it's going to be Zay, and then there's everybody else. Mark Andrews is coming. That's another kind of like trade buy low type guy. I told y'all Mark Andrews doesn't suck, but he's just not the same guy. He's not going to be getting 10 targets every single game, but he's going to be a good tight end to start in fantasy. Now I think he's getting there. This team is getting there. Even though they lost, it was all on the defense. And also, it's a couple drops here and there on the offensive side of the ball. Yeah, so Diggs is out. But yeah, I still think the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be the Detroit Lions and the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Yep. Ravens did pick up Deontay Johnson, King of Nike. Kenny says they needed a cornerback way more. I agree, but Marlon Humphrey is out. He is coming back. So I'm okay with Marlon Humphrey being out and how they playing. But once he comes back, I think that defense will get a little bit better in the secondary. Conja says, I'm looking, Jameis, as you went live. Right. I'm looking, James, as soon as you went live. Right. Nikki, what's going on, Nikki? She says hello. Gil says thoughts on Jacoby Myers this week. I think you play him. I mean, there's no wide receivers there. It's only him and Trey Tucker and Bart Bowles. So you got to play Jacoby Myers. That's simple. Now, don't play him over superstars like studs, right? But when he get down to that tier, the third tier, he's elite in that third tier because he's getting a nice target share. KL says Pastor Jameis. Yes, Pastor Jameis. Yes. Nikki says, I'm from Ireland. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're here, Nikki. Um, Conscious Machine says, love injury has me hoping to claim Stafford. Right. Hopping to claim Stafford, but I'll go Winston or Knicks if someone else gets that. Right. It's plenty of good quarterbacks to stream while Love gets healthy. Tail Dog, what's up, bro? He says, well, will the trade of Deontay hurt Chuber's production by defensive stacking the box? Appreciate you, bro. Anytime, Tail Dog. Um, yes, but I'm gonna tell you something. I could be wrong. If they don't trade Chuba before the trade deadline, then in Dynasty, buy low on Chuba all the way out throughout the summer because he's going to get a new deal. Then a new deal don't at running back doesn't guarantee that you're going to be great because we've seen guys get new deals and they don't play well and they kind of fade them out. They don't cut them, but they fade them out. So yes, they're going to stack the box. Nobody's scared of Bryce Young, and the receivers are young, Leggett and Coker are young. So Coker's another guy. Be looking at Coker. Coker's not a bad player. Um, but I think Chuba could get traded too. If I was Carolina and I drafted Jonathan Brooks, I would trade Chuba and get. I think a team would play for a third or second round for Chuba, so he could get traded. So I would hold on to him. I wouldn't drop him. But is his value? Did his value take a hit? Yes, it took a hit with Bryce Young. Bryce Young is the guy. That reason why Chuba's not going to play well. I think he would be fine if Andy Dalton started every single game. He would be fine. Um, Kenny says Jameis or Russ Wilson. I'm going with Jameis because of the value. The Steelers want to run the ball. I think, excuse me, I think the Browns will be passing the ball a lot. Kenny says Flowers, Ridley, or Tank next week with all the Texans receivers out. That's tough. That's a great question, bro. Flowers, I'm not worried too much about, but I want to make sure I tell you the best guy. Let's go with Tank. And the reason why I'm gonna go with Tank Dale is I don't think Robert Woods is gonna beat him out. I don't think John Mechie is gonna beat him out. I don't think Xavier Hutchinson can beat him out. I think he's gonna be the number two no matter what, and probably number one until Nico gets back. So somebody got to fill in the number two role, one of those wide receivers. So Tank should be okay. So I'm gonna go with Tank. He should get more targets than Flowers. Really, I don't know. I like really. I had really on my bench in one league. I didn't play him, but I kind of knew it. I picked him up off waivers because I was like, well, we know what really can do. If Mason Rudolph can be average, then we know that really can have some value. So I'm gonna rank them. I would say Tank, Ridley, and Flowers. But just because Flowers is last doesn't mean he's not fantasy startable anymore. Um, okay. Conscious says, make sure I didn't skip anybody. Okay. Conscious says Flacco in for Richardson, also TD. Right. Facts. What's going on, Siobhan? Conscious says AR tapping out means he wants out of Indy. You can't do that without knowing you are making fans hate you. He don't know, man. He had to do what he had to do. I'm not justifying it, but I understand it. If you tired, you tired. If you going through a lot, you're going through like I don't think he want people to be he's just crazy and he just gonna say that just to say it. I think he couldn't help himself. And he didn't want to be in the game and make a mistake while he was tired and then tell the coaches, why'd you do that? Well, I was tired. He didn't want to say that. Ted Doc said, is it time to drop Braylon Allen or and Jalen Wright? You can drop them. I would try to hold on long as possible. To me, I don't think they'll drop until the season is over. But if you got to move on and pick up other guys, yes, you can do it. Stacy says, "Wow, okay, wow, the political stuff. We right, right, right." Kenny says Lawrence is on bath salts. um, Conscious says, "Let the bots be political. It gets TD numbers in the algorithm." Right, right. It does to a certain extent. As long as it ain't crazy, making the live like pulling down the live. Right. Sometimes they can just be spamming the chat and it's making it bad. He says all bots must press the like button. Kenny says Devontae Adams have any value? Yes and no. To me, if you got him as your wide receiver too, you got to keep rolling him out there. I don't know what type of trade targets. I would love to get Marvin Harrison or somebody like that for him, but I doubt it. I got Devontae Adams in a couple leagues, and I'm okay with it. I know eventually everything is going to be okay. Where Aaron Rodgers will target him. I'm not looking at him to be 35 points every week. I just need him to be okay, and I need them to see. I need to see them get better as the season goes on. I'm getting ready for the fourth quadrant. I'm trying to win this championship. I don't need it. I don't need to see it immediately. Siobhan says, TD, I missed your first guy. It was Jameis Winston. It was Jameis Winston, Siobhan. Siobhan says, I like Flacco. He's solid. Big Bo says, or Bryce Young time. Right. And nobody cares about Bryce Young time, right? That dude, it's not that he sucks, man. It's just this team doesn't fit his skill set. Kenny says Flacco will be fine until you get deep into the season. He gonna be good for fantasy. I think he's gonna be good for fantasy every week. It's gonna keep everybody, level. Conjure says Elijah Moore worth a pickup. No. I mean, if you got room on your team, you can pick him up. But even if he has a good game, who's going to keep going to that well? To me, I was just focused on Cedric Tillman and Njoku. I may have to replace Dobbs if Love sits right. Facts. Siobhan says Flacco got experience, which is a good value. Facts. Big Bo says y'all should have never dropped Chubb and Christian McCaffrey. I don't think nobody dropped Christian McCaffrey. They traded him around, but they didn't drop him. Chubb, I don't know. I don't know if it's really gonna really help you win a championship. It's gonna really help you get wins. I mean, I think he can get 10 to 12 points a game. Who knows? He could be pretty healthy for your fantasy football playoffs. I doubt it. A says need a run back. I want to trade Hill for who? Real quick, man. I don't got my stuff around me. Trade Hill for Marvin Harrison Jr. and another piece. If you want to trade him, that's one guy, Brian Thomas. But you got to be patient. He's hurt. He's gonna be out maybe for a couple of weeks. So those are a couple of guys that you could look for. Maybe I talk about that a little bit later on in the week. Um, let's see. Conscious says Charbonnet only played in garbage time. Yes, that's true. Big Boy says Jordan Mason too something in his shoulder. He is done. You got Isaac and McCaffrey and Chubb. Okay, I didn't know that. So Jordan Mason is too something in his shoulder. So that means he's out for the season. Okay. So yeah, Isaac definitely is gonna get some carries, no matter if CMC comes back or not. Thank you for the information, Big Bo. Jamar says drop Mason for Bucky. Yes, if Mason got that season-ending injury, then you can drop him for Bucky. I mean, yeah, you can get Bucky. I would try to, get somebody else a little better, but maybe Bucky's the best player on your waivers. So yes, definitely pick up Bucky. He needs to be stashed. Ed said, "You ever ate possum?" No, bro. I haven't. I'm willing to eat almost anything and try it, right? As long as it ain't. But like possum is almost like a huge rat, and not saying if my daddy would have fixed it and like caught it and fixed it, I wouldn't have tasted it. But I'm no, I'll probably never eat possum. Probably. Yeah, conscious. That's what somebody's saying that Mason Tool or something. Chris says I hit the like. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chris. Big Bo says Bucky is bad and we played him after the bye. Don't listen to Jamar. Bucky's okay. Bucky's okay. Kenny says to the from the Garindo to the wall. Arami says Bucky is legit. Kenny says Bucky is good for a goal line touchdown or two. That's what matters. Big Bo says you should have picked up Kareem Hunt. Right. Everybody did. People here, I got Kareem Hunt, but I'm gonna try to trade him if I can. Pacheco's coming back soon. Eddie Phillips, what up, bro? He says full PPR trade St. Brown for James Conner and Chris Olave. No, 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 no. You hold on to St. Brown. Don't trade him for no James Conner and Chris Olave. No, sir. Harami says, TD, we worried about Zay target share with DJ coming to town. A little bit. Just a little bit. I'm still gonna play Zay if I got to. I'm not gonna let Deontay make me sit him, right? I'm not gonna make like maybe if it was close between Zay, maybe you've been starting Zay over Marvin Harrison. Now you might want to start Marvin Harrison, but I'm not doing it for lower tier guys like Tyler Lockett or JSN or um Cedric Tillman. I'm not sitting Zay for those guys. Now, can Cedric Tillman be out where I would sit Zay for it? Maybe later, but I got to see Cedric have a couple more games, so I wouldn't worry about it. Kenny says Russ can still stand that ball, can spin the ball out there, right? Remy says, "Oh my God, is this Kendrick Lamar?" No, but if I look like him, thank you for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, super chat. Ian Taylor says, "What up, TD? Who's gonna replace Diggs short term?" So I say it's gonna be Diggs, and then we probably got Robert Woods. I don't know. We're gonna have to find out if it's gonna be Robert Woods or Xavier Hutchinson. It's gonna be one of those two guys. They might even trade for a guy. They might trade for Elijah Moore or somebody like that. JB said Devontae Adams sucks now. If you want to talk about fantasy points, but if you just want to talk about his skill set, he still can play. Even though he's old, he still can play. Rami says, I guess we have to see. It might hurt Bateman more. Hey, it's gonna hurt a little bit of everybody. As far as those guys, not Derrick Henry and Lamar. But I don't think it matters. If you start in Zay, it's because you kind of have to. If you start in Zay over a bunch of alphas, then it might make you rethink that. Maybe you start some other guys. Uh, Kenny says Bateman is definitely going to suffer. Yeah, probably. I'm not really worried about it, guys. I'm not dismissing what y'all saying. I don't see it that way. I just see it that I know Zay might get a couple targets took from him, but Zay is still Zay. They drafted Zay in the first round. He still is elite. He still can separate. You see, they didn't even want to give him the ball this week. They wanted to save him, but then they got down and then they started hyper targeting Zay and he went off because can't nobody stay in front of Zay. So that's what to me gives Zay a role, and I'm not really worried about his role. Um, it's all about who you got to start over Zay. Right. Kenny says also they made a point to say that they're gonna try to get Dale the ball more. Right. CJ did. Right. Conscious says TD, I'm 3-0 since losing Nico. Have faith and always trust fantasy good sports. Thank you, bro. You good, you know fantasy. You got it. Derek says benching Stroud Thursday. Which quarterback you like best for the next week? Darnold versus the Colts, Stafford versus Seattle, or Flacco at Minnesota. I'm gonna go with Stafford. With Puka and Cooper being healthy, I'm gonna go with Stafford over the Darnold. But it's close between Stafford and Darnold. Christopher said, "Would you drop Kamani Vidal or Raheem Mostert for Xavier Leggett?" No, don't drop Raheem Mostert. He's gonna have a nice little decent role. Kamani Vidal, if you pick up a Xavier Leggett, man, you need to be able to try to get him in your lineup if he's like looks decent. Yes, Xavier Leggett right now is a better player than Kamani Vidal because J.K. Dobbins is not hurt. Gus Edwards is coming back. I just feel like Xavier Leggett is a better player. I'm not saying you should do it. Sometimes just because something looks better doesn't mean you need to do it. And I tell y'all that a lot of times because y'all be asking me about players that are sometimes they can be bottom feeders. So Dalvin Cook, somebody asked me, "What do you think about Dalvin Cook?" I was like, "Just another guy." Now, until he scored 2 touchdowns in the game, I might consider it. I think y'all have to do that. If not, you're gonna always be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Trust your team that you got, and just try to add on people to make your team better. It's not that sophisticated. So if Kamani Vidal and Xavier Lake is not going to make your team better, there's no need to do it because they haven't did anything. Now, is Xavier Lake worth the stash? Yes, he's worth a stash just to see. If that's what you want to do. Now, if he was sorry, I was like, nah, man, he's sorry, man. Don't even pick him up. He's not sorry. He can be a good fantasy player. He could give you 10 to 15 points with Bryce Young, but I'm nervous with Bryce Young. Let's see. Harami says Adam Thielen going to be a league winner. He could. I'm not gonna doubt you on that, bro. Um, Kenny says Thielen could be a nana. I heard just a rumor. Right. I agree with Kenny. Kenny says Zay has some big yards, but other days might not get much. Got to be prepared. Facts. That's how you got to feel about Zay. That's just the name of the game. That's fantasy. Debo, what's up? What's going on with you, Debo? Blake says my opponent this week has to hit the waiver for a quarterback this week. I want to block him. Right. That's okay. Available quarterbacks: Winston, Malik, and Minshew. Who do I blow fab on? Winston. If he beat you with Malik Willis or Minshew, you just take that. But I would definitely try to block it with Winston. Ice Cold Jones says, in which order from waiver priority? Stafford, McLaughlin, Roshan, Johnson, McMillan, Judy, or Cousins? Okay, Kirk Cousins first, then Stafford, and then McLaughlin. So Cousins, Stafford, and McLaughlin. Also, with Diggs out for the season, expect for Tank, who should I get? Out for the season, expect for Tank, except for Tank, who should I get? I don't think nobody's worth picking up. Not off that team for the season. A spec for Tank. Who should I get? Yeah. I so for wide receivers, I talked about Cedric Tillman's out there on waivers. Who else did I talk about? Calvin Austin. Those are two guys, but it just depends on who you already got on your team. But I wouldn't worry about nobody on the Houston Texans. Uh, Kelvin says start who? Starting Burrow, Mooney, Flowers, B. John, Josh Jacobs, Komet, Javante, Jets or Lions bench Camarilli, Jared Goff. So defense, I would probably go with. I don't know who the Jets and Lions are playing, so I'm not going to answer that question right now. Yeah, that's all I can say about that starting lineup. Jimmy said Browns passing game will flow primarily through David Njoku and Cedric Tillman. Duty and Moore are on the waiver wire. Right. Facts, Jimmy. Facts. That's why I ain't talking about them. Osblent says, can you give my friend a birthday shout out? His name is Nick Gurr. Block that person. Charlene says, hey TD, it's time to get. It's a tough one. Thank you, TD. I like Tank too. Galvin says, hey TD, who you starting? Sunday, Alave, or Neighbors? I'm starting Neighbors over Alave. Yep. Kenny says AR still is a young man, right? Tight end for Minnesota is playing this week. You talking about I can't think of it. TJ Hawkinson. Yes. TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, Rico, right. Rico says sucks that Tracy got hurt. Right. That's yeah. He got hurt. But he'll be okay. He's coming back. Kenny says I kid Flacco because I won't I went to same college as him. Okay, you went to Delaware. Hey man, I know this other girl. Man, she's from Delaware. She didn't go. She went to what you call it, but she said that Joe Flacco, man, used to be on ecstasy and stuff. I hate to say that, but I'm gonna go ahead. They said he used to be a party dude. Let me know about that, Kenny, if that's true. Rico says Johnson to the Ravens. Yes. Kenny says I kept CMC. Elisa says, hey TD, I started Knicks this week. What do you think about him rest of the season? I think he's a start, just depending on how he do. I'm okay with it. Just keep starting him. It's simple. If he go out and have a bad game this week, you might have another bet. You might have to get a different quarterback. So just take it week by week. But he should be fine. Jimmy says for those who have kickers, Sir Siebert has been a scoring machine for the Commanders. Siobhan says looking at Downs, Tillman, Sutton, and Shakir is available on my waivers. Yes, you have to get. I will actually get Downs over Tillman. Downs and Tillman, you have to get. The other guys aren't for sure, but you need to pick them up too. Siobhan says got Keon Coleman already so maybe not Shakir. It just depends on what you got on your bench. Paul said thoughts on Richardson. Man, just he I think they need to sit him out for the rest of the year and maybe regroup beginning of next year, depending on what they want to do. But I don't think he should play. If they bench him, you should not put him back in no more for this year. Yes, Jimmy says ETN could be moved to a running back ready team before the trading deadline. Is it worth holding? Yes, it's worth holding. Definitely. Jamar says, didn't hear that about Mason. I didn't either. Elisa says, Hunt looked tired last week. He did. He's wearing down, Elisa. Radar recognize that he is. That's why I'm gonna try to trade him because they're gonna start splitting carries with him and Pacheco when Pacheco gets back. Kenny says Amari being signed to the Buffalo was good for Keon. It was. Let him be the number 2 that he wants to be. Senor says, what's up, bro? Who's the better pickup, Grindo or Pearsall? I probably would say Pearsall because of CMC coming back. Jimmy says, I expected Adams to establish himself as the alpha on the Jets over Wilson. The opposite has happened. No, it's the same thing. It helped Wilson. I told y'all it would help Wilson. But Devontae Adams is going to be fine. Might not be what you want, but he's going to be fine. Kenny says, TD, please rank these guys. Really, Evans, Neighbors, Devontae Smith, Zay, Tank. Neighbors, Devontae Smith, Tank, Zay, Evans, Ridley. King of Nike says, should I drop Zach Moss for Mostert? You can. I think Zach Moss got a chance to score goal line touchdowns, or maybe I don't know. Him and Mostert might be tomato. I mean, if you're gonna draft, yeah, I would say you can do it because Mostert is a good handcuff. If something happens to A Chain, then you will have Mostert, and he will be a goal line machine. So if you don't like Zach Moss, a lot of times it's like y'all saying, and I want y'all to. Reason why I respond the way I do, it's like you saying, "TD, should I drop tomato for this tomato?" Well, they're kind of the same people. It is not really going to help your team. We just trying to you splitting hairs. Like Zach Moss is fine. Most of it is okay. I haven't talked about them in videos because they kind of don't really matter. Even if they are top scorers on a week, they not consistent enough to really talk about. Like Cedric Tillman is in a different bracket because he proved to you multiple weeks that he can take a target share. If he would have faded off this year, nobody faded off this week, nobody would have picked him up. So Zach Moss ain't did anything. Most of it is okay. He's a little bit better than Zach Moss, I would say, because of the team that he's on. Jimmy says, how you feel about tight end Adam Troutman? Just another guy. He had 7 targets, 85 yards, and a touchdown in the last 2 games for Denver. Just another guy. Just another guy, bruh. That's how I feel, Jimmy. Black Bank says, is really a must start for the 3rd and 4th quadrant? I think so. It's all about Mason Rudolph, and I think Rudolph is going to be good enough to help really be a great 4th quadrant player. Ali says Chuba to the Giants. How do you feel about that? I don't like it, but hey, it's Chuba. He can play. I like Tyrone Tracy. They just gave Devin Singletary a deal. I don't know if that happens, but hey, it could happen. Either way, man, Trouba's a good player. He's a top 12 running back in real NFL and um this year and in fantasy. Rico says if Higgins is out, might play Mooney. That's a good. I agree with that. King of Ike said Darius Slayton is a pickup. He is. Depends on what you need, but he is a good pickup. If they double team him Malik Neighbors, he's going to get one-on-one coverage with a weaker corner. Andrew says, "Yo, I traded Monty and Pickens plus Tyrone Tracy for Nico Collins and Darnell Mooney." So I'm pretty sure that you are the first, second, or third seed, and I like it. But if you was 500, I would say it was a bad trade. But if you are winning, you in the top three rankings of your league, I think it's a good trade because you're gonna be getting Nico Collins for the third quadrant. I'm not really gonna say anything about Darnell Mooney because he's good, he's fine. But Nico Collins, yeah, especially with Stephon Diggs going down. Eddie says Jamison Williams getting arrested on a gun charge. Trade him quick. Wow. Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so look at Kenny. Here go Kenny. I hate to talk about Joe and put his business out there on the street, Kenny. And Kenny gonna keep going with it. Kenny said, "Yes, sir. He was a party animal." This girl told me. She said, "Man, we party in Delaware. Delaware. We pop e pills. They do a lot of drugs in Delaware." That's what the guy was telling me. I mean, that's what the girl was telling me. And I'm like, Joe. And then I could tell how they call him Cool Joe. I'm like, I can see. She said, "Yeah, one night he was rolling and he was acting crazy and weird." He said he was a party animal. We all were. Getting crazy. What's up, Tron? What's up? Siobhan says, if Michael Pittman became available, would you pick him up over Downs? No, I will go with Downs. I like Pittman a lot. That's a great question, Siobhan. But no, I think Downs is the guy. I hate to say it. Pittman, I drafted Pittman in the third and fourth round. But at this point in time, I got to say Downs is the guy. So I was kind of a little bit off on Pittman. I didn't know Downs was going to overtake him. I'm not saying he has, but when I'm watching the game, Downs looked like the best guy, the best wide receiver on the team. It's just that simple. Yeah, if he's dropped some Siobhan, you definitely go pick him up, but not over Downs. Tron says Jaden Daniel won me my week with that Hail Mary. It took me from 11% chance to 91% chance to win, avoiding going 2-6. Good job, Tron. Sometimes that could be a league winning play for you to get you going. Keenan Blackburn says start Nick Chubb or Amari Cooper. I'm starting Amari Cooper. Igor says I am from Russia. Thank you for being here, Igor. Subscribe to the channel. Cutting edge content here. Tron says one this week and now 3-5 on an upward swing. Any suggestions? Trade, etc. Tron, this is what I would tell you. You are a member of the channel. Email me and we can sit down and think. Now, if you want to get a consultation, man, we can go down for 30 minutes. Maybe you don't want to do that, and that's fine. You are a member of the channel. You show support. But what I would tell you, man, email me and that way I can give you really some trade breakdown, man. For me to do it on a live, bro, I'm gonna be guessing. I don't want to do that. So just email me a question. Say, TD, who is some trade targets for this? This is what I have. This is what this person got, and I work with you because you are a member. That's what I do for my members. I'm not. No, if you email me and you're not a member, I'm not responding to no email if you're not a member. I'm gonna tell you that now. Jaden Daniels, Tyreek, Cup, Barkley, Monty, Njoku, McCorn, D Hop, Mooney, JSN, Mostert, Madison, Bo Nix, 2 on our. Yeah, man, just email me, bro, and we'll talk about some trades, etc., or some moves that I think you should be making. Because I do think you should be trying to trade for Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr., and Brian Robinson too. Those are some guys that are big time trade targets. Yeah, appreciate you, Kenny. Ganja says, I'm back. Hope the bots aren't being kind or being kind. I had to make my beef and potatoes. Bro, you be cooking. You a chef. King of Nike said, Tita, I have Joe Mixon, Ramondre, Bucky, Chase, Zach. I'm trying to stack up on RBs. Good job. Let me get me some water, guys. Let me see if I sit in front of the light, if it's gonna be better. Is that a little bit better, guys, or you don't want the light? The light in the camera is not good. Y'all let me know. Actually, I don't want to miss the chat, so don't. I'm not gonna scroll down on the chat. Um, or only variable guys left. Okay, today I have Joe Mixon, Ramondre Bucky, uh, Chase Brown, Zach Moss. I'm trying to stack up on RBs. Rico and Mostert are the only variable guys left. Yeah, I think you did a good job, man. I don't see any like Rico. I'm looking at Rico and Mostert. They okay. I actually think Dalvin Cook is going to play a little bit. Maybe Rico beat him out, but if Dalvin will play, so Rico is kind of moved down to a lower tier. Yeah, keep stacking up on them RBs. That's how you win fantasy because eventually one of those RBs are going to be a starter because somebody going to go down for whatever reason or get traded. So I like your strategy. Conjure says Gibbs, Walker, Mason, Algier, Ray Davis is my RB room. Drop Justice this week. Yeah, you can drop Justice. He's just a spot week start. I told y'all that. King and Nike says my wide receivers are Tyreek, AJ Brown, Zay, Michael Pittman, and Downs. Do I need to pick up any more wide receivers? Nope. You got Tyreek, AJ Brown, Zay, Michael Pittman, and Downs. No, you good. You good. You good, bro. You don't need no more wide receivers. Kenny says yes, it's a party school and then some. Right, I heard that. Siobhan says it sure does seem like that Downs took over. Right, it does. Conscious says, why do I have to select all messages and options to see everyone's comments? I have to too. I don't know, man. That's what I pick. I don't know. I don't know why. I have to do it too. Does everyone realize we need to do this to see all comments? It's crazy. Right. Thank you, Conscious. Arthur, what's up, bro? Bro, that's my homie right there. That boy supports. And guys, that boy be fly too. The boy always stay in a suit. What's up, Arthur? Long time no see, bro. He says, is Bo Nix a pick up or stay with Collar, Mary? Pick up Bo Nix, but stash Collar. I mean, stash Bo Nix, but keep Collar going. He's not Collar Mary. Collar Mary got that crazy rushing upside, and Marvin Harrison is getting better. Yeah, Conscious says, welcome, Igor. Kenny says Bo has some tough matchups and a bye coming up, so something to think about. Facts. Thank you, Kenny. Bo is proving himself 100 in fantasy, right? You know that was one of my fantasy quarterbacks that I talked about. I thought he could be top five because I thought with Sean Payton, I thought he would help this guy be a top five, and they will be playing in garbage time. But they actually can win and make it to the playoffs, so that hurts him a little bit in fantasy because he's trying to win. He's just not throwing the ball all over the field. But I think he's a good fantasy guy to have as a backup in case you need him. Guys, let's hit the like button. We had 60 people in here. They left. I guess I won't be doing no more lives like this. I guess I must kind of stay in the studio because I had like 70, 80 people in here once upon a time. Let me see. Andrew says Pickens, Monty, Tyrone, Tracy for Nico. Yes, if you are top three teams in your league, then make that move for the fourth quadrant. Rainy Angel says Dalvin Cook is not the answer at running back for the Cowboys we're looking for. Nope. Nope. But he might still score a touchdown. That's all. That's what it's about. Um, anytime, Tron. Conscious says Ravens gives up fantasy points to quarterbacks. Knicks may continue to score in the 20s. Facts. Conscious says I'm a junior. Sign all juniors. Gaming with Zoe says what? What's up? What's going on? What we putting money on? Put go to Jameis props and his passing attempts. I think that'll be something to put some money on. Conscious says, TD, I think your newest video mentioned McLaughlin. He may be valuable as season continues. Nick Strohs to him. No, I didn't mention him. Not my new video didn't mention him, but yeah, man, he's just guys. I'm not picking him up in my leagues. My teams be front load. I don't have to go to McLaughlin's, but I want to be fair to y'all. That's why I tell y'all, no, he's just a guy. Um, Now, if you went zero RB, yeah, I guess you have to keep streaming until you find a guy. But McLaughlin, any Aldrich, Estimate, any of these guys could take over this backfield. Derek Buck says, "Do you think Sterling Shepard will be a legit player for the wide receiver group with Tampa, or move on and try to find another wide receiver?" Nothing for Sterling Shepard. It's over. It's over. Leave that food in the trash can, bro. Flies been on it. Conscious says money is on the Chiefs till further notice. Yes. Anytime, Arthur. Anytime. Conscious says bro has week 14. Bo has a week 14 bye. Okay. King of Nike says I picked up Keaton Mitchell and stashed him on IR. The guy was a monster last year over Justice Hill. Right. But they ain't doing it. They got, I mean, maybe him and Justice Hill split some carries, but King Henry gonna get 80%, 70% of those carries in the right game script. Now, if they lose it, maybe you can put Keaton Mitchell in play him if you think they're gonna be losing. Conscious says King exactly why I dropped Justice. Good move on Keaton. Tron says when Daniels was questionable, I picked up Tua and Bo Nix. Okay. Tua is illegally on my RR spot right now. Would you try to trade Bo Nix or just drop him? I would try to trade him. I always try to trade and level up where you need some help at. King of Nike says conscious at the same point they will rest Derrick Henry at some point in time. I agree with that. I'm telling you, man, there's some real savvy people in my leagues. I mean, in my chats and in my subscribers. Also in my leagues too. I need to get conscious in one of my leagues, man. You need to quit playing around. You and King of Nike. Rainy Angel says disappointing week for Troy Franklin. It was Rainy Angel. I'm glad you reminded me because I want to talk about that, but I'm away from all my paper and data. Guys, it was the right play, but it was wrong. So anybody that played Troy Franklin, I apologize. Also, it was a couple other guys that didn't play great. It was the Bears. That was crazy. Washington was the weakest defense in the league, and then they shut down the Bears. That was weird. All I can do is say sorry. I thought Caleb Williams was a great start. I didn't start Caleb because I draft Lamar Jackson almost every single league or get other guys. I didn't have Caleb, but I thought it was a great play this week. I would have played him. He shit the bed. It's just that simple. He shit the bed. Jaden Daniels is better than him right now, or he has a better offensive coordinator. However you want to put it. Um, Dirk Boy says, "What's good, TD? I made a huge mistake and played Caleb over Kyler. Yeah, man, that's not bad, but I guess I would have told you that's why I don't have two quarterbacks, right? And I'm not going to chastise you because Caleb was a good play, man. So I apologize. I told you to play Caleb. I told people to play Caleb. But what I did not tell people to do, and I never would tell nobody to do this, it's like 7 or 8 guys, like at the quarterback position, that I would not tell anybody to stream these guys over. I'm never streaming nobody over Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Shit, if I drafted Pat Mahomes, I'm probably gonna feel that way too. I'm being honest with you. I'm probably not gonna start anybody over Pat Mahomes. Um, Kyler Murray. I'm not starting guys over because these guys, you don't ever know when they gonna boom. You never know. You never know. And then you go to Caleb Williams with a great matchup and he dropped the ball. Where Lamar, he ain't dropping the ball like that 90% of the time. He usually gonna ball out 90% of the time. And then you might have 1 or 2 games where he like has a bad game. That's why I like those type of quarterbacks where I can just put a guy in and play him every week. Um, I should have played my studs like you always say. Right, right. But I'm not gonna chastise it because it was Caleb with the best matchup of his life. It is what it is. It's all good, bro. But we gonna keep working, and now we not gonna make that same mistake no more. Conjure says I'll join a league next year for sure. Thank you, bro. King of like I said, TD, I'm coming with that smoke. I know you is. I know you is, bro. Yes, sir. These are facts. Says TD, do you give your opponent a heads up if they forget to set their lineups? Hell no. And I would talk shit to a person who say, "Hey, guy, what you call it, man. You need to set your lineup. I'm gonna call your ass a hater because I don't got nothing to do with it. Once the matchup is now, if the commissioner do it, because that's the rule for people to set legal lineups, I won't say nothing. But if another player, just because you watching my team, you pocket watching my team, and you want to tell another dude to set their lineup, that's bullshit. And I'm gonna talk shit and call your ass out in the chat. You better be doing it all season. If you're doing it all season for everybody, then I won't say nothing. But if you wait till somebody play me and you tell them to set their lineup, I'm gonna talk shit to you and I'm gonna call you a hater. So I don't tell nobody nothing, man. Listen, guys, I love you. You get in my leagues, I'm gonna whoop that ass. I love you to that. I ain't telling you nothing. I post my videos in the chat, but I already make my waiver wire adjustments before I do it, and I do share my videos inside of my group chats. But I don't do a lot of one-on-one consultations with guys for free if you ain't like paying for anything. I'm not gonna help you out. Great question. Conscious says Bills DST in Buffalo or Eagles defense against the Jacksonville Jaguars. If Brian Thomas is out and all they got is Tank Bigsby and Parker Washington, and yeah, guys, Parker Washington is another guy that you should be streaming. I'm gonna talk about him a little bit later on another day. But I guess I'll go with the Eagles defense. Okay, you gonna claim Philly defense tonight? Okay. King of Nike says first year of fantasy and I'm hooked. This your first year, bro? Damn. Very, very savvy, very intelligent individual, bro. To catch on the way you catch on, you ask good questions, like far as shit that really makes sense. So, bro, I'm gonna give you respect for that, man. First year. He says I'm 6-2 with a auto drafted team. Okay, I'm 8-0 in my free league, which I actually drafted. Okay, good shit, bro. Conscious says I realized today I'm 3-0 since losing Nico. Fantasy Good Sports is word to keep your head under stressful situations. Facts, bro. Facts. Dello, what's up, Dello? He says, what up, bro? Mr. G in the building says, still don't think CMC will play this season like that. I think you're right. But San Francisco, they don't give a damn about you. They pay you, they'll run your ass in the ground. Pause. King of Nike, last one of the night, guys. Appreciate everybody. I apologize if you don't like this type of doing. Next time I make sure I got good lighting. But I think this is a cool type of chat, guys. Let me know. Put your comments in the bottom and let me know. You're not going, if you say, well, TD, I think it's better to do it this way. That's fine. I'm not going to take it personal. But let me know, what do you think about this type of live? Are you okay with me just pulling out and doing lives? Or do you want me always to be in the studio or, or in the car or whatever? But King of Nike says, TD, that's how all the guys in my league are. They are really hating on me because my team was auto drafted. Right. They haters, bro. And that lets you know you're doing something right. Dello says, I started off 1-4 and done ripped off 3 straight back at 500, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. JT Player says, make me mod so I can kick out the Kamala voters. Bro, you got to become a member of the channel. Once you become a member of the channel, I can make you a mod. But then after you become a member, you have to put in the work. So usually people who always come into the lives, who are members, I just randomly one day make them a member. And I make them a mod. And I won't take it away unless they just don't come back. Even then, I'll leave it on there. I hit a couple guys that leave for a year and they came back. They still was moderators. Once you grandfather clause in, you grandfather clause in, unless you go and act crazy. King of Nike says, awesome. I love it, TD. Yes, sir, bro. Connie says, TD in the dark is unique. Outdoors is good. Right, yeah. TD in the dark is unique. Right. Yeah, man, it's the I ain't got no lighting. It's dark outside. I thought the light would be a little bit better. Sound is consistent tonight like this. Oh, okay. You know what it is, guys? It's my headphones. That's what I'm gonna start wearing when I do my lives. When I'm doing it on my phone, because y'all said y'all like the sound. It's the headphones. It's not making the mic pop. See, guys, hey, it's a ever learning thing. You never know what you don't know. Um, I love the country cricket chirping. Oh, y'all can hear that? Damn. Them street lights on. I'm a country boy. Me too, bruh. I am too. J Bond says, "Do I keep Jonathan Brooks or try to trade him? What range of players should I shoot for if I trade?" Man, I don't know. I don't think you're gonna be able to get anything for him. But I would try to get Tyrone Tracy or Brian Robinson Jr. If you can't get that, then it's nothing really you're gonna be able to get that's a better player than Jonathan Brooks. Um. So right now, brother, I can't think of anybody. Maybe the chat can put that in there if they know somebody for you to trade. But I would say just stash him, man, and keep working the waiver wire. Mr. G said, "Would you drop Persol for either Tillman or Coleman, Leggett, or just keep him?" I would keep him over Leggett. I would keep him over Leggett. I would make Leggett have to show me that I need to pick him back up. Alex says, "Evan Ingram, Chuba, Javonto this week. I don't know the matchup, bruh. You're gonna have to help me, Alex, with the matchup." So I'm gonna say it without the matchup because it really don't matter to me all the time without the matchup. Like I can just tell you who to play because these guys are studs. Evan Ingram, you got to start him. Chuba or Javante, I would say you got to go with Javante because Chuba doesn't have any weapons and everybody gonna sit. It's gonna be 10 men in the box. I would say. Pause. Sweetie says I can't see. Right. So that's why next time, man, I'm gonna try to wait to and get some light. If I ain't got no light, then I just go somewhere else and do the live. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm gonna get out of here. Yankee says pick up Knicks, Flacco, Stafford, and drop Golf and Donald. Need big upside this week. Pick up Stafford. Stafford got a great is gonna be a great play this week. Stafford's gonna be great this week. Flacco is fine. And you can drop. I don't. Whoo, man, that's a lot of quarterbacks. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna tell you who to drop because I don't believe those guys are drops. You got all those quarterbacks, bro. You're gonna have to make that decision. I can't tell you on a live to drop somebody and they play elite. It's just professional because I don't believe those guys are drops. So, but what I will tell you, the best play with the most upside is going to be Matthew Stafford. It's going to be Matthew Stafford, and another guy with good upside this week is going to be Donald. I think Donald got good upside. So I would say Stafford, Donald, and Flacco are the guys. The rest of the guys is on you. I think Golf is a good quarterback. I think Nix is a good quarterback. Anytime, conscious. Yep, anytime. Yep, anytime, Yankee. Yep. All right, guys. Y'all be safe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.